that we enjoy, as well as our daughters. We nurture all of children's hobbies and interests. We also don't blow all our money on this stuff. I know I may sound overly defensive, but we get a lot of comments from people who don't know us well. Anyway, we live in a farmhouse on a bit of land that includes a barn that we finished off, with hopes to make it a guest house one day. In the meanwhile, we've had a relative get married here, and it was gorgeous. Now my sister, 28F, wants to get married on our property, and we're all for it. Everything's been planned for months, and the wedding is in June. It's set to be outside completely, but if it rains, we can move the party into the barn. The only reason a guest would have to go in our house is to use the bathroom. We have 2 on the first floor. The only Disney items are Winnie the Pooh towels. I told my sister I'd replace them with regular ones. Wedding space has no Disney items. However, she wants me to take down everything Disney on the first floor of my home, as guests will see. We have a lot of Disney items, pictures, paintings, blankets, Funko Pops, decorations, figurines, dishware, etc., all made for adults. And a lot of it's subtle or vintage, but you can still tell it's Disney. This would be a massive undertaking. It's not as simple as shoving stuff in a closet. We'd have to pack it up and find a place to store. The sheer amount would require at least 2 hours of packing, not to mention storage and unpacking after. 2. It's ridiculous to me. Who cares if people see? She says. It looks tacky and she doesn't want people to remember her wedding for that. I told her no. We're decorating the outside and barn as she wants. We're letting her use our property for free, which she keeps bragging about to friends as it's saving them a ton. When my husband and I stood firm, she whined to our parents who told us to grow up and take it down. Why did you move out from your friend's apartment? I, 22F, live with my best friend and ex-girlfriend, 22F's ex, and I are friendly, and living together has been emotionally tolling but doable. My current lease ends in August. I asked a few guy friends of mine if they'd be interested in taking me in as their 3rd roommate for the next lease period. They agreed, and we toured some spots around town. Last week, I held a party at the current house, and there were people who knew the hosts but didn't know each other. The boys who I was meant to move in with got to the party and immediately start saying, "The party next door is full of fat F's and ugly beaches," among a few very disgusting things. Didn't even say hi. Just walked in and started saying a bunch of very rude and wrong things about our neighbors. I was embarrassed because they're my friends, and I had people I invited that did not know them. I called them out and said something along the lines of, "That's enough, you're being an asshole," etc. They proceeded to continue making misogynistic jokes and call me a liberal. For the remainder of their time there, the next day I went over to their house and told them I would be living with my ex and best friend instead. They got upset at me saying that we were about to sign the lease and now they have to find an affordable place for just the 2 of them. I told them I didn't feel comfortable living with guys who are very nice and respectful one-on-one, but proceed to become edgy beta males when surrounded by other men. I told them it seemed like I never knew them, and that it showed me a side of them I didn't want to live with. Now they're absolutely ballistic about this. They're telling our mutual friends that I definitely am a snowflake and can't handle a few jokes. I want to point out that a dark joke in good taste at the right moment is hilarious. But there's a difference between dark humor and just straight up being an asshole to people. My friends are split over this. Some say I shouldn't have left them out to dry after saying we would sign a lease together for the past month. And the other half understand why I did what I did. Am I the a-hole for backing out of this lease over how they acted at my party? Am I the a-hole for dropping our dinner on the ground and walking out when my boyfriend asked me what's for dinner tonight?